Imagine sitting in a totally silent room. The clock is just relentlessly ticking down. And you know the single essay you're about to write is literally the only thing standing between you and, well, a visa or a university acceptance or even your dream job. Welcome to this deep dive.
Yeah, that kind of pressure is incredibly intense.
It really is. So today, our mission is pulling the ultimate strategy guide for the IELTS writing exam straight from our source, IELTS Buddy. And look, even if you aren't taking a language test anytime soon, you should definitely stick around.
Right, because this is honestly a pure masterclass in high stakes, effective communication under pressure.
Exactly. Okay, so let's unpack this. You're facing 60 minutes and two strict hurdles, which are task one and task two.
And the most immediate anxiety triggering test takers in those 60 minutes is, well, it's the length requirement. The source outlines strict minimums, so that's 150 words for task one and 250 words for task two.
Right, which doesn't sound like a lot, but under pressure, it feels huge.
Oh, absolutely. The natural human instinct here is panic, followed by this urge to just write a massive, rambling novel just to be safe.
Or people fall into the complete opposite trap, right? They write a single sentence, stop, and then literally count their words one by one.
Oh, yeah, the worst thing you can do.
They write another sentence, stop, and count again. Doing that during a timed exam it's like trying to balance your checkbook while driving on the freeway. You're staring at the wrong dashboard, eating up precious time, and you're almost certainly heading for a crash.
That is a brilliant way to put it. And IELTS Buddy actually offers a really smart mechanical hack to bypass that entire anxiety loop.
Oh, the words per line trick.
Yes. You figure out your average words per line on a practice sheet long before test day. Then, when you sit down for the real thing, you just count your lines and multiply.
So you can estimate your total length in like 3 seconds.
Exactly. But, dodging the time-wasting trap is really only half the battle here. Writing significantly more than the minimum is actually fundamentally dangerous to your score.
Wait, why is writing more dangerous? I mean, wouldn't a longer essay show off more fluency?
Well, not unless your fluency is already totally flawless. The examiner is hunting for quality, not quantity.
Makes sense.
Yeah, every extra sentence you add is just another opportunity to fumble your subject-verb agreement or, misuse a preposition. You are essentially extending the minefield.
So you definitely don't get bonus points for walking further through it.
No, absolutely not.
You're really just giving them more material to mark wrong.
Mm-mm.
So since we want to keep it concise, time management becomes the next massive hurdle.
Right.
How do we actually divvy up those 60 minutes without shooting ourselves in the foot?
Well, task two requires 100 more words, and it carries significantly more weight for your final score. So the strict non-negotiable allocation is 20 minutes for task one and 40 minutes for task two.
Okay, 20 and 40. Got it.
But what's fascinating here is how you use that time to manipulate the visual psychology of grading.
Visual psychology. Wait, you mean how the ink physically looks on the page before they even read the first word?
Precisely. You cannot present a grader with a wall of writing. An unbroken block of text just subconsciously signals a disorganized mind.
Oh, wow. I never really thought about the visual aspect of an essay.
Yeah, it's huge. You have to budget your 40 minutes to include planning out distinct paragraphs before you write and leaving time to check your grammar at the end. The physical structure on the page basically proves you're in control.
Okay, so let's say the structure looks beautiful and the timing is completely dialed in. Getting to that coveted band 7 or higher score requires way more than just decent time management.
Oh, for sure. The source says the very first rule is to never copy the prompt. You always have to paraphrase the question to introduce your topic.
Right, but then it dives into a bunch of pretty intimidating linguistic jargon to prove grammatical range.
Yeah.
So INSIC is just throwing in a few complex sentences, enough to secure a top score.
Not exactly. To hit band 7 or above, the mechanics get highly specific. You can't just rely on simple or compound sentences.
What are they actually looking for then?
The examiner is actively scanning for passives, modals, noun phrases, reduced relative clauses, and nominalization.
Hold on. Passives. Every writing coach on the planet says to avoid the passive voice like the plague.
I know, it sounds totally counterintuitive.
It really does. Why do IELTS examiners actually want to see it? And what even is nominalization?
Well, it's all about mimicking the tone of academic literature. Active voice is great for a novel, sure, but in a research paper, the passive voice just sounds more objective.
Ah, Right, like saying the data was collected instead of I collected the data.
Exactly. It sounds far more academic. And nominalization works the exact same way. It's basically the trick of turning a verb or an adjective into a noun.
Give me an example of that.
So instead of writing, the government developed the city quickly, you'd write the rapid development of the city.
Oh, I see. It automatically makes the writing denser and way more formal.
Exactly. And a reduced relative clause simply tightens your phrasing. You just remove words like who or which to create a much more sophisticated rhythm.
So you are essentially putting on an academic costume to, like, trick the examiner's brain into
Yeah.
recognizing you as an insider.
Yeah, you are demonstrating that you understand the formal register of the language, but, and this is the ultimate warning from the source, you can perfectly execute every piece of nominalization and passive voice and still totally bomb the test
Wait, really? How?
by failing to answer the actual prompt.
Oh, right, of course.
Yes. The single most common mistake students make is writing this gorgeous, grammatically flawless essay about a topic that is only vaguely related to the specific question they were asked.
Wow. So what does this all mean for us?
The fascinating takeaway here is that whether you are sweating through a high-stakes exam or pitching a project to a client, or even just drafting a tricky email to your boss, these core tenets absolutely apply.
They really do. You have to paraphrase the problem to show you understand it, avoid the dreaded wall of text, and for the love of everything, answer the specific question they actually asked you.
Definitely. And, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it highlights a really strange tension.
How so?
Well, we're basically adapting our natural communication style just to survive a highly artificial testing environment.
That is so true.